Okay. So guys, yeah, that's the update. What do you say, Taylor? You're you're joking. You're joking. Oh, whoa. Mm, I don't know. Well, okay. Holy shit. Well, guys, we do have news. Charlie Kirk, who we all know from TPUSA, was shot. Okay, he was shot at Utah Valley University. He's now in critical condition. I don't think I can show the video to you guys. Maybe we can drop in the moments before and maybe some moments after where you guys can sort of see what took place at this university. He was there speaking on behalf of Turning Point USA, doing his normal back and forth with college students like he usually does. And he was shot in the neck and is now in critical condition, currently in surgery at the time that I am recording this. So we'll, of course, stay on this story. I am honestly so shocked. Taylor sent me this, and I could not believe my eyes. I could not believe what I was reading. I could not believe what I was seeing. And we know that things like this happen, but this one really hits so close to home. And I'm sure it does for so many of you. I'm going to try to break down some of the information here, get into some responses from media outlets, from leftists, which have been insane. And we're coming for MSNBC today. It's just unbelievable. So let's just sit with the news for a second. My thoughts are with Charlie Kirk and his family, his wife Erica, his two children. You see Charlie Kirk, and his whole platform is to go out and have tough conversations, uncomfortable conversations, to really reach across the aisle. And he's doing it typically with college students, a group of people where these conversations are truly important. They're formative. And he spent so much of his time, so much hard work going out and trying to have these conversations with people who vehemently disagree with him just to be shot like this. And I hope that he makes it through this. I dearly, dearly hope that he makes it through this. But as I said, at the time of recording this right now, he is in critical condition. There are some reports coming through from sources unknown that he is stabilizing in the hospital right now, but that is all that we know, and that's all that I've heard. Now, Donald Trump has commented on this. He says, "We must all pray for Charlie Kirk, who has been shot. A great guy from top to bottom. God bless him." And it's really interesting that these words are coming from Donald Trump, who has survived multiple assassination attempts at this point. We are in a time of great, great violence. You know, I'm thinking of the Trump assassination attempt. I'm thinking of this Charlie Kirk assassination attempt. I'm thinking of the United Healthcare CEO that was shot and killed in almost broad daylight. And now we have Charlie Kirk. And these things are just stacking up. And I'm hearing the news and the media say that this is to be expected. I'm going to turn to MSNBC, who had this brilliant guy on. Let's roll the clip.
He's been one of the most divisive, especially divisive younger figures in this, who is constantly sort of pushing this sort of hate speech or sort of aimed at certain groups. And I always go back to hateful thoughts lead to hateful words, which then lead to hateful actions. And I think that's the environment we're in, that people just, you can't stop with these sort of awful thoughts you have and then saying these awful words and not expect awful actions to take place.
Matt.
And that's the unfortunate environment we're in.
Listen to them talking about how you can't just start with these awful words and these awful thoughts and then not expect action. And then you hear that little end clip of, yeah, they've just confirmed that he was shot in the neck in critical condition. And this is how you're talking about this individual. And the awful thoughts are the awful thoughts in the room with us. He shares the thoughts of 50% of this country. And now we are in such a time of divisiveness and viciousness that we believe that people who support Charlie Kirk, people who support his thoughts and beliefs and his values deserve to die. Are we okay? And we can't even get clarity from the news media as to what has exactly taken place. This is another clip from MSNBC where they say that, he could have possibly been shot by somebody who was shooting in celebration at the university.
In which a shooting like this happens.
Yeah, and again, to emphasize what you just emphasized, we don't know any of the full details of this. That we don't know if this was a supporter shooting their gun off in celebration, or so we have no idea about.
That's your reputable news source, MSNBC. When they're not trying to come up with some excuse as to why somebody like Charlie Kirk would be shot in the neck and now in critical condition, they will justify it by saying you can't say awful words and have these awful thoughts without expecting action. And then on the other end of this, okay, they're going to push it to the Trump administration and talk about Charlie Kirk being shot and say, you know what, the Trump administration is going to use this as some sort of justification for an action moving forward.
After one of the Doge employees was allegedly attacked in Washington, D.C., that's what Donald Trump used as a justification to send in federal troops into Washington, D.C. to get things under control. The carjacking situation, he used that. And I know it's hard to predict the future, Mark, but you can imagine the administration using this as a justification for something.
I must admit, I'm at a loss to guess as to what happens next.
Yeah, as you should be, because we should be at a loss to guess what happens next after somebody is literally shot in the neck. A public figure whose whole platform is just having conversations and going toe to toe with college students is getting shot in the neck. Yeah, we should not know what's happening next after that. You know what? If Donald Trump sees a bunch of carjackings happening in a city and goes, you know what, let's fix it. Thank you for that. If he sees crime going rampant through an entire community and the community begging for law and order, begging for law enforcement to do something, and he takes care of it, thank you very much. I don't know what you do when you have public figures like this whose whole platform is having conversation, getting shot. Like what is the response supposed to be to this? And I can't say that you don't see things like this coming. It's one of the reasons that I don't like to go out and do public speaking or do events like this, because you just never know with how insane our world has become, what's going to happen to you. We are sharing our thoughts, our beliefs. Charlie Kirk is somebody who's having discussions about politics. And yes, these are really uncomfortable conversations. Yes, they may make somebody angry. Yes, you may vehemently disagree with him. But if you think that he deserves to be dead for what he believes, I urge you to reevaluate. And if you don't think there are people responding in this way, I'm going to read you some responses from people who clearly hate Charlie Kirk online. And then I'm going to show you some videos of them talking about it. And they are cheering this on. They think this is one of the best days they've ever had. Here's one that says, I wasn't going to drink today, but Charlie Kirk got iced. We're turning up. Here are some trans activists and some far left extremists, according to Andy No, celebrating this. I wish the bullet that hit Charlie Kirk a very pleasant day. Oh, wow, she did a good job. Thoughts and prayers to the bullet's family. Finally, some good news out of my state, LMAO. Now let's watch a clip. This was compiled by Libs of TikTok. These are leftists celebrating Charlie Kirk's assassination attempt.
I'm not saying she deserved it, but I'm saying God's timing is always right.
And goodness knows the wicked flies are lonely.
And look at that. And, I'm noticing something in this video. The age demographic of these individuals, they seem to be like maybe in their early 20s, okay? These are all people that if Charlie Kirk had the opportunity, he would be spending all day sitting in the sun, talking to them about politics and trying to go back and forth with them to gain understanding of their perspective, but also to share his perspective with them. And here they are cheering on the fact that he has been shot in the neck. I'm dumbfounded by this. I may be rambly in this video because I just can't get my footing on this one. I saw the video. It shook me to my core. And to see people who are not shaken by this, even further than that, unaffected by it, even further than that, celebrating it and saying that this is a wonderful thing. And I don't know a single political figure that I could think of that I could watch a video like that happen to, no matter how much I disagree with them, and cheer it on and celebrate them literally being shot in the neck. We're going to watch another video of a leftist celebrating the breaking news that Charlie Kirk was shot.
Breaking news, Charlie Kirk was in the neck. As of right now, I think his condition is unknown. And there are a lot of people that are like, no matter what side of politics you're on, you should never celebrate something bad happening to someone. I, on the other hand, do cheer when bad things happen to bad people. So on behalf of everybody else, I got this shit. I don't know if he's going to make a recovery or not. I don't know what his condition is. It like just happened as I'm filming this. I saw the video of it happening. I do not feel bad for him in the slightest, and I'm very, very much wondering what MAGA is going to react with. I wonder how they're going to make this about how Black people shouldn't be allowed guns, or trans people. They're probably going to blame a trans Black person. I don't fuck. But we can all celebrate because something really awful happened to a really, really awful guy. And again, if you're one of those dipshit people that are like, no matter what happens, you should never wish death on someone, I'm going to cheer and dance and sing.
So many times stories will pop up in this world and I'm like, wow, we've lost our humanity. And I'm just reminded that at least some of us have like we're completely devoid of humanity and our attachment to humanity. Need I remind you guys, we are human beings. Everybody's a human being. Doesn't matter if you disagree with that human being on fundamentally, every single issue that exists. We are human beings, okay? Unless somebody is actually trying to like physically encroach on your space and ruin your life and physically harm you, this is not necessary. This is not it. We have lost the entire plot, and somebody who disagree with is not a target for death or an assassination. It's just not the way this goes, and it really reminds you and brings you back to the situation that we're in as a society when you see people respond to it in this way. I'm even seeing people who are just completely desensitized to the news in itself. It's just like, oh yeah, another person got shot. Another person experienced an assassination attempt. This man is a married man with a family, with a community, with an organization that he's built, through his own hard work, his own blood, sweat, and tears. And to be shot trying to have conversation is just so wild. It's so wild. And how people cannot connect with this, despite the political disagreement, it doesn't baffle me, but it baffles me, And we saw it with the United Healthcare CEO. We saw it with the Titanic submersible and, other stories like that. We tend to draw this line in the sand where if somebody is on the other end of it, we no longer care about what happens in their life. We're not impacted by it. And even more than that, we celebrate bad things taking place in their lives. And that's what's happening right now. Again, my thoughts are with Charlie Kirk. I'll try to keep you guys updated on this. I just wanted to get this video out to you guys so you guys know what was going on. This is such a devastating day for America, for political discourse. It's illuminating the divisiveness that is currently just boiling in our country. It's not even simmering anymore. It's boiling. And if we can't learn to get past these political disagreements, I don't know what the future looks like. I mean, we're going to continue to have the conversation. Charlie Kirk is, if I have any prediction here, he makes it out of this, he's going to continue to have conversations too. And that speaks to his character. That speaks to who he is as an individual and as a person. This guy seemingly, continues to fight and keep up and work hard. And I think he'll do the same on the other end of this. And I hope there is something on the other end of this for him. And I don't want to put the shooter in this. At least we don't have an identification of the shooter just yet. That's the update as of the time that I'm filming this right now. There are videos being taken place of a guy who I guess was thrown on the ground and arrested and escorted out of the event, but it has not been confirmed by our media sources, which I guess are MSNBC and ABC and these bullshit outlets, who the shooter actually is at the time of this recording. Okay. So guys, yeah, that's the update. What did you say, Taylor? You're joking. You're joking.